I think I am live. I cannot tell because the chat is not up. Give me one moment. I can't see. It's too small. Oh, no, not there. Oh, no, not there. Oh, no, not there. I don't know how to, like, set it to capture. Alex? I need to set the screen to capture.
My bad. So go to OBS.
I'm in OBS. I never left. Also, I don't know how to set the chat up. And I can't see that far.
Window capture.
Okay.
Double click. Window. And then, yeah.
Okay. And now how do I see the chat?
It should just automatically, here, click there. So it gets rid of the, I'll change it from.
Okay. And then I just click between them?
Yeah. So let me see if I.
Do. Okay. We are all set, I believe.
Yep,
Thank you for your help. Goodbye. Hello, everyone. Oh, it's mirrored. Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Judge Mathis. He's just like me for real. How's everyone doing tonight? We're gonna have a silly fun time, I believe. I personally believe. And I hope everyone who is going to be joining us, I'm gonna probably wait a couple minutes, so I'm just gonna probably be chatting for just a few minutes. I just worked a 11-12 hour day, so I need some chill time with the homies. You feel? I'm also going to pull up my questions. So that way I have them ready. And we won't be waiting on me. And if we waited on me, who's gonna tell? Who's gonna tell? I want to make sure we're not getting a double echo this time, correct? It does have 2 audio feeds, but I think this is muted. I just want to double check that there's no duplication of audio. And I'm pulling up my thing. I'm multitasking. Ha! This one has the most, and the other one just has 2. So this will be easier to sort through. Yippee! But I hope everyone's having a good, grand old time tonight. I would be, if not for just exhaustion. But I am going to remedy that by hanging out with y'all. And I have my questions, and I said they'd be anonymous, so I'm not showing anyone. What I will do, and I'm going to reiterate this like twice, so, and only twice, unless someone comes in, then I'll quick rundown. I'm doing it this way, so that way I don't have to like put someone's thing up there, and it was a lot of editing in a short amount of time. And I want to make sure people had the chance to submit the ones they liked. Effectively, your unpopular opinions, or the unpopular opinions, will be judged. I don't have a gavel, so I have a little figure hammer. So chop chop chop. So this will be my gavel. I don't know how loud it is if I hit the table with it, so this is a test. Not too bad. Hopefully. But I'll set it down quietly most of the time. Most of the time. And I will be flipping back and forth between looking at the YouTube chat and looking at the Twitch chat, because I think it doesn't show me both, unfortunately. But that's okay. But other than that, it's just been a hectic day. Hectic Anna, if you will. No, it just... I took Monday off because... I'm gonna be real. I feel like I should have gotten that day off spiritually, but my boss lets me make up hours and like do other work and stuff. So I decided I'm gonna take today off and focus on getting stuff done and then just work. Work my booty off. Work my booty off. And I hope... Oh, also, if you're in the Midwest, depending on where, and other places that have been affected by the polar vortex situation, like we have. I know one of my friends' power got cut off because it got too cold, so their power like exploded. So they don't have power. Sorry, that was not laughing at that. I was laughing because I am dressed as power, you see. But they unfortunately, I think they got their power turned back on, thank God, but I think their power went out for a little bit because it was too cold. I checked the wind chill this morning, and the wind chill said -19. I said, no, that's not a real number. I know it's spiritually real, but I don't want it to be real. So, but I'm going to give it just probably like max like 2 or 3 more minutes. Also so I can drink water, and 2, so I can explain the premise. So I also would like to, and I'm going to reiterate this a few times, so if you get sick of hearing this, bleh, I'm sorry. But I really appreciated that I put unpopular opinions and nobody put a shitty, horrible take. I appreciate it so much. There was no poopy, nasty takes. Like, all of the takes were anime or video game related. None of them were abjectly terrible. So, I'll take a win as a win. A win as a win. Not to say, like, I expected people to be, but I expected at least one person to be edgy. And I'm glad no one went with edgy and they just went with real valid opinions. The only other thing I'd like to say before we start soon is please feel free to engage or whatever, but like obviously these are people's opinions. Please, obviously you don't know who they are, but we'll refrain from ad hominem attacks or like saying this person is stupid. I need an educated jury. Need an educated jury. So with that in mind, first things first, I'm going to not display because I couldn't find a good way to do it that wouldn't have taken hours. I'm going to read the take. If it is in multiple clauses, we'll handle those at one at a time. But the guilty or not guilty verdict will be a package deal. Sorry. I might say you're not guilty on this, but if you're guilty on another charge because some people made compound sentences, ain't nothing I can do about it. 2 or 3, 4, there are multiple outcomes. So you could be guilty, not guilty. Theoretically, I should be able to... You're gonna be mean? You cannot be mean, it's not allowed. But theoretically, in your brain, there are 3 possible outcomes, potentially a 4th, but we'll worry about that a different time. But the 3 account, if it comes up, there is guilty, not guilty, and what did I put this one? Like kind of like acquitted, but you should have got in jail, but I'm gonna let you free. Oh, released with conditions. So, oh, no fighting. I mean, you can fight in the chat. I'm talking about the people who submitted their very vulnerable opinions. Y'all can fight in the chat all you want. I'm not going to stop you from doing that. Oh my god, here we go. But, oh, also to pick them, I'm probably going to put in another tab because it's going to be, all it is a bunch of numbers and I've just numbered them. 1 through, I think we have 36 or 37. So just give me 1 second here. Oh, I could do it over here. Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna admit that I'm oh, I could just hit escape. I'm dumb. Okay, so let's pretend we're not seeing the screen. Because because I'm going to separate these tabs real quick. You never seen nothing like this. You never seen nothing like this. Alt F5. Or just... Isn't it just F5? Excuse me. I know it was Alt F5. Or I could just do this. Ta-da! Look at that. Okay. But the numbers aren't very interesting because it is just labeled 1 through 36 on a wheel. Some of these overlap. So if they have the exact same opinion, we can take one from the chat. Or we can take one... We could skip it because we have 36 cases to go through. Quite a few of those are duplicates, though, I will say. Like, as much as we got 4 or 5, I think, 4 or 5 from a particular anime, 3 of them say the exact same thing. And in lieu of, like, combining them all and leaving out, like, later causes, so if they have, like, a compound sentence, didn't ask for a compound sentence, just an opinion. A compound sentence is 2 opinions, but that's okay, that's okay. I'll let it slide, because you could also submit multiple times, so the distinction is not there. So, what I would do is, I'll read it out. If there's literally any different, if there's any ones where it's completely the same, then we'll just pick a new one. Cool. Also, my co-host today is Judge Mathis from the hit TV show on, was he on CW or ABC? Judge Mathis. So there's that. So I'm going to spin. And our first number will be... It better not be fucking, like, 37, because that's, like, the only one I don't have up here. 21. Cool. Now I'll remove it from the possibility pool. So the 21st case we will see today... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14... 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. All right. So the first hot take of the evening. My dad complaining because he don't know what a compound sentences are. Sit Tim's ass down here. I'll give him the thing. Compound sentence has 2 clauses, 2 or more clauses, combined with a conjunction. And or... Also, nothing on the screen? No, Judge Mathis! Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. No, Judge Mathis! Oh, no. How do I get him back on here? Oh. There we go. The king has returned. The king has returned. Can you put the wheel on screen? I would, but there's really no point. You can trust me. I can lean into this computer. Leaning into this one, it puts me into the mic. And also, I want Judge Mathis here. But I can move it for you if you'd like. It's got a lot of ads on the website is more my issue. All right. All right, gamers. All right, gamers. We got our first hot take of the evening. Oh, also, I didn't get my law degree, but I have a lot of opinions, so that's what makes me allowed to be a judge. And as long as that's not too loud with anyone, we should be ready to go. So, the first one is an anime I got, I think, the most, if not second to the most. It's kind of hard to parse if it was One Piece, oh, spoiler, if it was this other anime with a lot of pieces in it, or it was going to be this one. These two have the most individual callouts. I will say most of them will be anime related. There's a few video game ones in there, a few food ones, and a couple others. Well, let's get started, shall we? So I want you to know that court is in session. So that means we are now deliberating. So, valid members of the jury, I don't know, all rise? Someone landed a UFO outside the fucking house? That was a strange noise. Anyway, all rise. Our first opinion, our first case of the evening. The opinion is Dan is kind of mid. I try to like it, but there is no progression. It's a meet cute, and then they're just done. Blug. Blug? Blue. It's a very weird spelling groan. It's B-L-U-G-H. Never quite seen it spelled that way, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. So, this is a two-parter, kind of. No. They gave an explanation. I will not say it's a two-parter. I will say the term mid is subjective, so that is already a cause for consideration. I don't want to overjump their opinion. I have read a good portion of the manga, and I have watched the first season, because that's all that's available. Will I say that there is very little progression? Yeah. If you like rom-coms and stuff, which it purports to be, there is no relationship progression. They're pretty much dating with all the trappings, aside from maybe an overt confession from episode 1 or chapter 1 or whatever. And it is just a meet cute and then a shonen. It is just a meet cute then a shonen. So I will say that this person is successfully exonerated. All rise, you may live another day. And yes, Alex, this time I'll put the wheel on the thingy. Just for you. I don't know if it'll capture it, though. It does not capture it. That's why I didn't put the wheel on this side. Sorry. But I will let you know it's spinning. And it's got the ugliest color palette I've ever seen. It is tan, orange. I mean, it could be good, but like as an outfit. 31. Thankfully, the last one was 21, so this will be easy. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 31. If this is yours and you happen to be in the jury, you must be impartial as possible. As a command. In JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3, Joseph should have won in the gambling battles against Darby. Now, I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with JoJo's Part 3 specifically. As I know quite a few JoJo fans, there's a lot of silly goofy fun, a lot of bizarreness, and that's the context needed. And, oh, I'm sorry, let me go back to the previous slide, which I thought would be easier, but we're just gonna leave up Saul for this one, and I will correct my behavior in the future. This does not reflect the current thing. However, Joseph has quite... Hello! It is nice to see you. We are... Okay, so premise. I am ruling... Oh, also, let me put out Judge Mathis. Okay, Judge Mathis and I are ruling whether or not these opinions are jail-worthy, and they're unpopular opinions submitted to me via my Instagram story and a couple DMs. Right now, the case we are hearing is... Because court is in session. Girl? Are you gonna... Oh, he's at the end. That's why. I gotta get to loot. Alright. We are discussing, and if JoJo Part 3, Joseph should have won in the gambling battles against Darby. Now, I would say Joseph's whole thing in Part 2... yeah, it could have been OJ. It could have been OJ. It could have been. It could have been the juice. The juice might be loose. I will say, based on the evidence in Part 2, Joseph is known for luck. He is known for getting out of circumstances. He is known for cheating. They should have just made that man be at the bar or something, or doing a side quest. So I will say... I hope that's not too loud. I'm not going to call out who submitted this in the chat, but they're in the chat. You have been exonerated. Huzzah. For this opinion. I know you submitted others for this opinion. So rejoice. Rejoice. Rejoice, my friend. And then let me remove 31 so we don't get it again. Alright. Next, I'm sorry I can't get the wheel to do it right now, and I'm not feeling with finicking with it. We'll get it next time. The number looks to be 2 or 3. It's still rolling. 2! Alright, so this is an early fella. Alright. This is an oldie but a goodie, and it divides us all. It divides us all at the end of the day. Not really. I will say for the jury, which is y'all in the chat, to be objective as possible, that this is a person's sense of taste. This is a person's sense of taste. I don't want to... Oh, you didn't see me do that. Oh, I don't want to... We can get the wheel next time. It's also... I would like to find one with a better color palette. It just doesn't look good. Or, like, fix the color palette. It just doesn't look good. It looks like poopy. It looks like... Earth tones on a wheel, in theory, sounds pleasant. In practice, it looks like mush. It's not very distinctive color-wise. So I kind of have to, like, just wait for the number. And this next person says, pineapple on pizza? Goated. Especially with pepperoni. Look, somebody had to. In parentheses. Now, I used to be a pineapple pizza hater. I used to be. But I realized, not a big fan of ham on my pizza. Also, cooked fruit, I don't always get with. Because I personally think sometimes cooked fruit can be yucky. And I don't like yucky. However, I have recently had a pizza pie within the past year that had it on it, and I did not complain. They're not going to jail. They're not going to jail for this. You know why? Motherfuckers eat ass. Pineapple on pizza is nothing. If you eat the booty, any one of you out there, if you're eating booty, there's a few things that I could say jail-worthy. Pineapple on pizza, it is a standard menu item. Whether or not I'd go to it, ain't my business. But for this one, they will be exonerated. Contentious opinion. I feel it. However, I will reiterate, some people eat ass, which is also fine and valid. When people, some people are freaky. What about with SpongeBob, What if he was getting freaky with it? Pizza in the pineapple? Yeah. That's you, though, because you're a pineapple hater. So, I understand the premise of a good Hawaiian. Hawaiian pizzas are not my favorite. I've had them. They're really not for me, but I will, at the end of the day, it's not for me. I feel that way about, unfortunately, a lot of foods that involve tomato. Not a big tomato eater. I try my very best to avoid them. All right, next number. I'm sure there has to be a different way to color pick this wheel. 17? 17. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Nah, this one a little crazy. This one's a little crazy. I've been nice. Hey, just popped in. I don't want to out anyone in the chat, but we just recently, so just as a thing, because we did have 2 people join, so I'm going to in different chats. We are taking the unpopular opinions, and we are now in court, and I will be reviewing guilty and not guilty. So far, we have Dan is kind of mid, which was not guilty. We had JoJo's part 3. Joseph should have won the fight against Darby, which I think is... I'm sorry. That's like his whole premise. It's not like they didn't... I'm sorry. This is my only little piece about it. It's not like they don't regularly send characters on side quest. He could have just been on a side quest. Sorry, not to go off about part 3, but I heavily agree. He could have just been doing something else. He's old as hell. He could have had hemorrhoids. I don't know. Either way. And pineapple on pizza, also not guilty. softly set the gavel down. Oh, and this is not actually a gavel. This is a, obviously I don't own one because I'm not a judge. This is my Power Figma hammer. So that's all I have. And I just rolled 17, which might be the one that like lands someone in prison. I'm just a judge. I'm just a judge. I'm just a judge, I promise. I'll lose my... No biases. Mojito from JJK is hot. I don't care. First of all, not to be that guy, we did a tier list last week. I hate to break it to you, he is just a man. He is just a man who happens to live in a sewer. He is just a man that happens to live in a sewer who only befriends a minor because ain't nobody else will fuck with him. I think my conclusion... Mojito, sewer man, I'm sorry, this opinion will land you in jail. It is just a crush. I get it. You might just like the blue hair and stitches. We need to find a better option. But for now, in the pen. You're eating Sour Patch Kids? Thank you. They're my favorite candy. I love them so much. They've been my favorite candy since I was really little. This person has to be locked away. I'm sorry. Also... That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Listen. Listen. That's all I gotta say. There are other stitched men with blue hair somewhere for you. We gotta leave Mojito in the past. I hope you get help and recover, but for now, jail. And now we pick the next one. Isn't this fair? Don't we love the court of law? Everyone asked for a bench trial. I might... Oh, and if I can't choose, or if it's like way too ambiguous and we think it would be fun to, as well, there might be a few in here that are a little spicy. There's also jury, if I'm gridlocked, because there's certain things on this that I have no fucking idea about at all. And we got 35. I have to go to my current day one. Because we have 36 of these. Now, a lot of them do overlap, and I said this earlier. And if we come across that one and someone has a good one in the chat that we'd like to talk about, or frankly, we have so many, we could just do a couple others to replace the ones we left out if we have extra time. And I think that could be fun, especially if anyone's got a crazy one they have locked and loaded. Y'all know I love arguing. That's my favorite sport. All right. The next one is 35, which I believe on... Sorry, I have them split between two sheets. So we're going to go to this. There's only two on this one. All right. Another food one. And I will also plead the fifth if this person is in chat. All right. Everyone ready? Milk chocolate is for babies with underdeveloped taste buds. There's more to flavor than just sweet. How we feeling? That one's pretty crazy. That one's pretty crazy. I will say milk chocolate on its own is very child-coded, but I do believe milk chocolate does have its highlights. I'm more of a dark chocolate enjoyer, but I could see the appeal to like the fun candy bars that are milk chocolate. Just for babies? Was it just for babies or for babies? Is for babies. Now, I will say babies can eat it. Babies can eat it. Underdeveloped taste buds, I do think milk chocolate, especially the ones that are a little bit darker in cocoa, I feel like have a little bit better flavor, but I feel like milk chocolate tends to run just a bit sweet. And like, as much as like white chocolate gets the Yeah, like on its own, like nah. But like, can I give credit to like its homies for doing all the work? Like I can, but I also like you played your part, but I also can't fully say that this person is wrong. So I have a slide for this, and now now I can unveil this. Conditional release. I will say this is worth community service for using language that does not include fun and freaky ingredients. Because Reese's, Twix, I mean, I don't eat those, but like, I've had them. They're all fun. They're all whimsical, and they do have milk chocolate as a component. So you might have to do some community service, but you're up for conditional release. I don't think this is the worst opinion, because maybe that's just because we got Mahito from JJK, but I'm playing a little softball. 40 hours of community service for 6 weeks. The glove didn't quite fit, so we're gonna let you off this time. But make sure you next time you check yourself a little bit, alright? Alright? Maybe use less absolutes. Alright, next is, let's remove this number so I don't have to scroll for it anymore. Ha ha ha. There's also a heads and tails, but that's not how law works. We spin the wheel and then we just judge based on our own personal opinion. All right, number 12? 12. All right. All right, gamers. All right, gamers. Sorry if anything popped up there. It doesn't look like it did, but for me, it just showed my device settings, I suppose. So let's take a look-see. Let's take a look-see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, another person said pineapple on pizza fucks, so we're gonna choose a different number. Sorry. Listen, you got people got, you know, they got mutual, they don't even know each other. Isn't that crazy? Isn't the world insane? So in that realm, we're gonna just move to a different one. Let's do a little spin to win. So how's everyone feeling while I get a new number? Sorry about that, y'all. Are we gonna get a number 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. All right, all right, all right. Let me take that off the list before I forget. All right. Sorry for party flopping. I'll show you your IP. It showed my IP address. No! Now, this is the other anime that got, I think they might have gotten the most. Dandadan and One Piece got the most specific unpopular opinions. So we'll see. This one is one sentence. And it is, One Piece's art is ugly. Okay, I've looked at it. Maybe it's just me, but I agree with this person. I don't know how to deliberate. I think this is a very objective decision. If anyone disagrees with me, I'm sorry. It is kind of ugly. But so this person, exonerated in my eyes, in my heart. This is based on me. Everyone looks like a spoon with a bobblehead, and this face makes me very uncomfortable, and that's everyone's default face. It's too much. Dial it back. I understand. It's existed for a very long time. You know what? You don't see me doing? Drawing. Maybe there's a reason for that. Popcorn yellow striped smile. Yeah. Oh, to draw a woman challenge. Honestly, that's actually my biggest thing is like, which I'm sure will address this because I saw some One Piece ones. But how they draw women particularly is kind of awful, actually. And not just like the big boob on a spoon. It's other women that they also draw very terribly. However, this person, you got yourself a good lawyer. So did OJ, though, so, you know, it is what it is. Alright. The next number. I'm kind of feeling it. I was also debating bringing out this wine so I could get rid of it with one of these streams. But I'm gonna be real, that wine tastes like perfume, so I'm probably gonna have to doctor it up a little bit. 19. Let's remove it from the list so I don't forget to do so. And let me find who number 19 is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Alright, y'all. I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Did it not show the emoji? It did not. It just wrote it out. You'll drink it for me? Thank you. That shit sucks. It tastes so bad. Alright. This one, I might have a jury thing for this one. Because I think it's subjective, but I'm gonna plead my case against this person. I'm like the devil's adversary, since I don't have anyone to like advocate for in this moment. Because I think in theory it's true. Oh, I didn't even say it, my bad. Oh my god, I'm sorry, that was so gross. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna kill myself. Honestly, I might pour my glass of that vino. I got a 12-hour. I'm sorry. I got a 12-hour shadow work tomorrow. Oh. I thought there was a cat in our midst, but they don't visit me up here when it's cold. So, the person said, cringe is dead. Now, I'd like to believe it. However, I think the cringe has changed hands. So, hear me out a little bit. I think what used to be called cringe, people are like, that person's just doing them. Like, they're not hurting nobody. It's not and obviously some people still get made fun of for just doing them. But, like, I think the cringe has changed hands. I think there are people who are, like, actively mean or shitty. I think we saw this with the Karen thing, too. That shit became infinitely more things to, like, scoff at and be cringe with than frankly, just autistic children on the internet, which is what used to be what people would bully people on. They'd be like, oh wow, a neurodivergent person's doing, like, something that I don't find acceptable to me. So I'm gonna videotape them and then make fun of them online, or there's a person having a bad day who is having a mental health episode. How cringe. But now it's like, let's be honest, Elon Musk is breathing, and that's cringe enough. So personally, I'm going to say this could be a jury moment. And I trust your guys' decision on this. I think this person, personally, I'd put them in conditional release. I think cringe has changed hands, but I don't think this person goes to jail. I think they mean, like, traditional cringe. So I'm thinking conditional release. Y'all feeling it? I think that's probably where we're gonna go. I'm just feeling a little fruity about it. I think it's okay to make fun of people who are assholes, though. But that's just me. Alright, then this person is sentenced to, not death, conditional release. Welcome back, Orenthal James. Rest in, I don't even worry about all that. Anyway, y'all will get to look at OJ for a second. Bro, no, he just got away with it in this picture. I don't even think this person needs to do a lot of community service. I think I knew what they were getting at. Alright, and it looks like we have a 3. That's at the top of the list. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Y'all. Ooh. This one's a little. Ooh, I might have to ask for your guys' help on this one, too. Because this one, This one's a little crazy. Shipping ruins fandoms. Now, again, I think it might fall into the previous where I think they're getting at more shipping culture ruins fandoms. And personally, I can't disagree with them because some of like the craziest fandom behavior I've ever seen has been after a ship. And I don't know specifically what fandoms this person online has with, so I'm assuming it's not going to be one. They're talking about like fandoms where there are obvious or like characters that clearly can be a pair. Because there are some like media that like, yeah, you could ship from there, but there's not. Who cares? You know, it's like it's a very like a romantic agnostic sort of thing. Sorry, I twitched. I'm really cold. I should just put a blanket on. So hang on. The judge is a little cold. I think a lot of things are caused by shipping wars. And I don't mean like pro shipping, like people who are like any age, any relation. That's a little crazy to me personally. But just because like things like that are constantly arguments. Also, this is just an online interaction. I'm not talking about real life. Some people can't seem to separate that people will have different opinions on non-canon relationships. This cold needs to go to jail. Oh my god, Rose, you're gonna warm me up? Okay, so Rose, real quick, we are in court. Some people sent me their unpopular opinions and we're ruling if they should go to jail, be exonerated, conditional release, and I don't think we've seen anyone worthy of death yet. But some people take it way too far, and I think the problem is like a lot, like, is specifically like, one, it's very fun, but like, Tumblr runs the victims of yaoi, which is a very common like trope where there's a canon ship, but like people just freak the fuck out that it exists and they are like openly crazy about it. I hear movement. Is everything okay? Oh, I'm good. I got the blanket. Yeah, but I appreciate you. I'm all good though. I'm all good. I can't really put it over my head too well. But I'm good, but I appreciate you. Might have to head over there. Oh my god. Oh, and y'all are the jury, Rose. So for this one, I don't know if it like ruins it personally. So I don't think this person is 100% correct, but I think I'm leaning towards conditional release. If they mean their own fandom experience, I believe it. The word platonic never carries much meaning, to be honest. It seems like it's much more about the romance, and sometimes I just want my blorbos to be pals, buddies even. Listen, I agree. I also think love plots get shoehorned into stuff where it was not necessary. So I think for this person, there are so many fandoms that have shipping wars to where it like tears the fandoms literally apart, and like they will like it's a little insane. I've seen it. So I believe them. I don't even think they need community service. I think they need better fandoms, and that's not their fault. I think the people who do shipping problems need jail, but this person, conditional release. You were sentenced to give me money. All right. I do agree with, especially platonics in stories. It's like, God, can't people just be friends? All right, next number will be number 34, the very end of this list. So that will be easy. I'll just scroll to the bottom. Because I have two. One of them has 2 on it. Well, now 1. And the other one has... what's the word I'm looking for? Many. Sentenced to witness protection. There you go. They're going to be in the witness protection program for that. Because I feel like they've been through some shit. However... and this one, I just scrolled to the bottom. Okay, so this is one I don't know anything about, so I'm going to need y'all's help. I'll need yours help. The Sega Saturn is a greater gaming console than the PlayStation and Nintendo 64. Now I looked up a little bit about the Sega Saturn, but I kind of wanted to see if anybody else knew anything about it. I do know of its time, I did a little research, it was much more advanced and kind of got nerfed on international release, but had much more weight in like Japan as well. If we're going on specs alone, love plots has become dictated by fans. Not that it's necessarily bad, but it's always handled poorly, I feel like. Rose, you're so right. I'm sorry, I just saw that. Rose, you're so right, honestly. And fans try to go to Twitch and it crashed. Tell Rose I love her. Rose, Ash loves you. Purchase, it was more advanced, but not well promoted. I agree. I think it also might have to do with like what games people were looking for at the time. And because the video game industry was so much smaller than it is now, I think, especially in the West, Rose says that she loves you too, Ash. She didn't do a kiss, but she did a heart, but I didn't know how to like emote a heart. So I just, you feel it? I need chapstick bad as hell. Sorry. I think if the game selection would have been like a little bit more, I mean, it was a little bit Sega, but it had like, they didn't have like as many exclusives probably too. That seems to be another thing. It was a little bit more limited on the releases, not as well promoted. Though I will say, in practicality, it looks like, from what I researched, it looks like a better console than those two. But the advertising, man, now that I think about it, sorry, this could have been like an event, like a changing event. Like Sega notoriously struggled for, I know nothing of the Sega Saturn. It is okay. I looked up a little bit of it and it does have like better specs and was like overall better received. However, it just did not have the international appeal. And I think that comes down to promotion, like Mark said, and also games. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people, well, not as much anymore, but still will buy games because of exclusives. And I feel like if people don't know the titles, and it was back then when like a lot of video games didn't have so much name recognition as much anymore. But I don't think this person deserves jail. I think in a practical sense, they should be exonerated. However, this is a game console that existed so long ago. Play the Sega, but I don't know much more about the system itself. I'll let them free. I will say this could have changed the course of history if it got marketed better. Because imagine if we had a competitive Sega console right now. What would the state of AAA gaming be? Nebraska, perhaps? Who knows? Let's check out. Was that number 34? That was a crazy one. I didn't know nothing about that, but there's a couple things I had to look up. Someone hit me in the 11th hour with something I know nothing about. Hope somebody knows something about Homestuck, because I sure as hell don't. If not, I'll look this character up and see what their crimes could potentially be. 7. Let's see where 7 is. Oh, you guys don't have to look at Bob Odenkirk if you don't want to. You can look at this. I'm sorry about that. Though he does have a calming presence. What did I say? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, this actually, Rose, I feel like you will agree with this because you kind of said something similar. In a lot of cases, it's the fandom, not the fiction. In a lot of cases, it's just the fandom, not the fiction. And I think it's big fact, actually. And I think a lot of people want to do the thing where they put it in just... And mind you, there are some that, like, clearly you knew what kind of fandom you were going to create with shit like this. Like, things like Rent a Girlfriend, if we're talking anime. Or, like, My Hero's, like, is targeted more towards children. So you are going to get a lot of, like, teens and, like, younger kids who... Well, I guess it was more popular with younger kids when it came out. Not as... I mean, not to say it's not popular now, but it was like that's who it was targeted at, and that's who they were like gaming for. So like you had a lot of kids in the fandom, like younger people, because that's what it was for. So like obviously, I'm not saying there aren't target demographics. However, sometimes I get annoyed when people take responsibility from the fandom. I think I'm gonna use this hand, or I can be more center. Hang on, let me figure out which way I'm going. There we go. Wait, no, this way. All right. So, with this, I say that authors and creators are pandering to a certain audience when they make art. However, they can't control how the fandom's going to react. And sometimes people will take a fandom and turn it twisted or whatever, even though that wasn't the main point. And sometimes fandoms make art better. Truly. There's sometimes where people will be part of like or watch or like consume mid-media, but the fandom is just so fun and cool. So I think like it goes both ways. But often when I see stupid ass shit, it's because people are being stupid. And I can't blame that on one guy. Just like I can't blame everybody in certain fandoms if the author is bad and that was like found out later. You know, like what am I gonna say? Oh yeah, you like a thing and you made so much of your living and your hobbies surrounding this thing. Now you are a piece of shit. Like, you know, it depends. Like it's very context heavy. But I will say this person, oh hang on. I can't do it on my computer. I was trying to hit the button. No, not jail. Exonerated! Because I think they're very right. I think there are some people, obviously, who know what they're making, such as, like, the Rent-A-Girlfriends and things like that. But then, most of the time, it's the fandom. They did say most. They qualified. Fact, sometimes the fandom's content is just better. Like, the lore they added. Yes. I will say sometimes fan fiction and, like, lore and stuff like that is created by fans. I mean, that's kind of like D&D. Like, a lot of, like, sometimes, like, base tabletop games lores aren't great on their own, and, like, a lot of homebrew stuff is just so much better. You know. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna go to 7 and remove it. That person, good opinion. We gotta see some stinkers. I feel like it's about time for a stinkity stink. But I feel like we're gonna get a pinkety drink. Alright. Not to bring up Starbucks trauma. Sorry, y'all. I know there's too many Starbucks former baristas in the chat. Oh, I didn't even look at the number. Hang on, I switched tabs too fast. 13! 13! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. One of the most wholesome opinions, and this person is not going to jail. I'm gonna be real. Movie theaters are a little bit too cold. I agree. I still have Starbucks nightmares. I will say this person, this is, I mean, I'm sure it's not the most popular opinion, but you know what? Fuck it. Movie theaters are a little too cold. I'd rather people not stink, but this person is exonerated for being a little chilly Billy, because what the fuck am I gonna say? It was negative 15 this morning. This shit's crazy. They're not wrong, and I don't know. Not serious, just a little observation. I appreciate them for that. That was a little silly. I like that. Okay, no brain power on that one, so we're gonna need a real thinker. Looks like it's gonna be 16? Yes, 16. Not that y'all know the numbers, you know. 14, 15, 16. Yeah, we got one. Okay, we got one, folks. We got one. I'm not going to show y'all, but I'm just scrolling down my thingy. And then counting off like this. So that way y'all know my process. And then there's, from my new one today, I only got like 2 more. So, oh, because I'm going to tell you, this one... the feet people know we were talking shit last time. So, Foot fetishes are honestly harmless, and people are really weird about it when there are harmful fetishes. I'm not saying there aren't harmful fetishes. I think we should leave the harmful fetishes out of the deliberation room. I'm not here to judge those people and put them in jail. They probably already are. So let's focus on the feet. It feels cold-blooded of me to put this person who's just sticking up for the feet people in jail. I don't think this is a jail-worthy opinion. Because at the end of the day, feet people are a little forward. Like, not to say it is not, and mind you, it's not, like, I'm not being shady about it. I don't mind if someone, like, sees a picture or whatever, they see some toe and they're like, yo, you know? If you see some toe and you go, yo, that's up to you. I've met a lot of normal people who have foot fetishes. I won't say a lot, I'll say 2, because that's the truth. However, Alex did not submit this. I'd tell you if he did, I'd shame him. Not shame. Unbiased courtroom. There is nothing intrinsically wrong with liking toes. As long as you don't take pictures of people's feet without, like, asking, as long as you're not overtly weird about it. Like, here's the thing. If you're going to comment something like, I'm gonna suck them toes, and you wouldn't say that about any other body part without being, like, really weird, don't say it. You're a little too forward. I think sometimes feet people are a little more forward than others. A DM request, I feel like could be fine. Comments on the comment section, as long as they're respectful. Sometimes they're not, though. I just want to be very clear. But then again, sometimes a lot of people aren't respectful. Nah, let me suck them toes. And then they got the fucking biggest mouth in the West, and they just, like, unhinge their jaw like a snake and take them all. You never know. It could happen to you. So for that, I think conditional release. I appreciate this person might be sticking up for themselves and other feet people. I think it is a relatively harmless fetish. Y'all just gotta hold each other a little bit more accountable. People don't really like feet overall or feel neutral about them. You don't see the armpit people acting like this, is all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. You don't see the armpit people doing this. Oh, I'm gonna plead the 5th, but actually I'm gonna tell y'all, because we're on stream and I don't give a shit. So, one of my exes wanted to suck my toes, and because his mouth was so damn big, he put them all in at once. All my toes. It was like a wet slipper. Worst experience of my life. I'll never forget that sensation. Never. It was truly unique and not in a good way. Not in a good way. So remember that when you sleep soundly at night. It could always be worse. You could have a wet slipper moment. That's for my ex. Not shaming, because y'all don't know who that is, but just as an FYI, there are people out there. Guard them toes. You never know what might be lurking out there. I mean, some of you know my ex, but not a really relevant person, thankfully. At least not in my life. I don't see them at all. All right, number 26. 26, rent a car. You can do that when you're 25. Who has to suck your toes in Twitch chat? No, not in the Twitch chat. I've gotten in some DMs. And to that I say, no, not allowed. If it was Twitch, that'd be crazy. I'd pop them piggies up here and be like, this? Because I always wear socks. So they would never even know. Oh, I forgot what fucking number was 26. My bad, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Okay, so this is going to be a repeated issue one. So there might be one that it overlaps with. If we come with one where it overlaps with, if it's a compound sentence, I'll address the other half of it. But if it is not, we'll just table it and someone could suggest a different one, or we'll just move on to the next one. If we have more time, we'll add another one. But this person, I'm gonna pick one of the people who worded it a bit more eloquently, but someone just said Dan Diddy anime. And I'm gonna pick a different one that's nearby, because there's like 3 that say the exact thing. This one person who said it much better than Dan Diddy anime is Dan could have been good. The constant essay of Momo makes it uncomfortable and unbearable to watch. I'm gonna take a sip, and then your judge will return to the shift. It's a long, hard day. It's crazy that I get off of working for 12 hours, 11, 12 hours. And y'all got me working and putting in more time. Are y'all all... Listen. Look at yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself. And when I mean I got like 3 of those that are like that for Dan, or at least have part of that in there. No, I think I got 4 or 5, actually. I think it's 4. Where they all reference it. I don't blame these people for feeling that way. So, I watched Dan, the first 3 episodes in theaters. I also, that's how real I was. Though, I saw Look Back in theaters, and Look Back's just better, and that's just how it is. It is a one-shot, and it is like a movie. Did I cry? Yes. Yes, I did. I cried like a little baby. But it's a good movie. So, I'm gonna move on to Dan, though. Because I don't... Okay, I've read a bit of the manga, quite a bit. And when I've been okay, first of all, I would have appreciated any heads up. Oh, you were like one of the early, I think you were number 2. Ooh, maybe 3, 4? I don't know. There's a lot of, well, also, no, you were number 4 because it goes in reverse order. Yeah, because Diddy Anime was one of the first. So when you get questions... So technically the Sega Saturn, even though it was 36, was technically the first question asked. And whoever was won was like the last of the 24-hour period it was open. So, also, if you guys like this courtroom segment, before I continue, we will bring it back. We will. I'm having fun doing it, but that's just because I yap. If you guys don't like it, I'm sorry. But I kind of fuck with it. So, here we are. So, Dan Diddy Anime. At my dad's. Oh my god. Okay, so my issue is if this would have been college age people, it still would have been very uncomfortable. However, because there's so many like essay type scenes, or I'm gonna go with the Diddy one first because this person is talking about overall how Momo is depicted, and I think I could give more adequate response to that later, but I'm gonna go with just the Diddy one, so I'm assuming they mean like freaky and minors. I'm so glad you're here, Nicole. I'm glad you like the court. I'm so happy to be interacting with y'all, and also this is a highlight to my day. I'm gonna be real. I've been so excited over this one, so even if it didn't work this time, I would have subjected y'all to it again. I'm gonna be real, just more polished, and maybe with a real gavel, because it's a little wobbly, and I don't want to break it. It's my Power Figma's one, and it's a little wobbly, but because it's supposed to be displayed. But, you know, it won't hurt it. This is me to you, giving you heart beams. Oh, wait, there we go. I love you. So, I'm going to stick with the Diddy one, so I'm going to say the freakiness and the use of minors is kind of what they're probably getting at more about it. The first episode's extremely, extremely jarring. Very uncomfortable. It's very visceral. I read it first, and it did not make it easier reading it and then going and seeing it. I felt just as uncomfortable watching it back that I was reading it, and it made me extremely, extremely uncomfortable. And, like, I'm not trying to be, like, a ninny or whatever, but then it happens repeatedly throughout the series. Like, it ends on a cliffhanger. Spoiler, the first season ends on a cliffhanger where that's another threat is, like, essay. But another reason I want to say the Diddy one is because also the unnecessary amount of times they show these minors butt ass naked is crazy. And yeah, Sometimes they have underwear on. Sometimes, but if I almost DNF'd, but I just continued because it was short enough, Alya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian because of just how they were depicting this person who was fully clothed, and it was too much. I'm telling y'all, there ain't no business having minors that naked all the time, especially like Gigi's character, possession, whatever, superpower. He's like in his boxers primarily the time, which whatever, they are kind of like shorts. But like Momo's in her underwear like every other episode. Ira's in her underwear several times. Like a lot of characters, Okarun's naked all the time. It's weird and it's too much about kids, dog. So I'm gonna say this person fully exonerated. This person's gonna Anakin. My neighbor's dog is named Anakin. And he woofs. He's a blue healer, so he barks really sharp. So I always hear him and he made Macaw mad. But this person fully exonerated. Run for mayor. Even though you just said Diddy anime, so I had to kind of like, you know. And mind you, I've read pretty far. I stopped reading because it got boring. Like, and not to be that guy, I'm not. Hello. Just to give you a little speed, we're in court. Let me show you the double liberation. We just exonerated a person. League of Legends. We just had a what's the word I'm looking for? Exoneration. A person just said Dan Diddy anime, and with the amount of times they show little kids in their underwear, not little kids, I guess 15-year-olds, but still a kid in their underwear, too much. An unacceptable amount, especially when it's supposed to be a rom-com. There's a lot of too much, I'm gonna be real. A lot of weird scenes in it that feel like they're added for shock value, and or this could have just been college kids and nobody would have said shit. Right, I'm so tired of these animes being so ahead of high school because half these animes could be swapped to a college set. You know what's crazy? Dark Gathering, where is that? Has some like I dropped my phone. Has some like pretty dark scenes in it, not to like. And this little girl is like 8, but she's not the ones in the sussy scenes. The ones who can be in sussy scenes are like these two. I don't know if you can really see them, but they're college age. They're in universities. They aren't children. They're the romance plot, and anything weird that happens to them because they're adults. Easy, right? Easy. They show a flashback of them in high school because they were like best friends in high school. But it's crazy how easy they just made them go to school. It's just college. And a character can drive a car, so it's even more convenient for plot stuff. Anyway, let's pick the next one. So this person exonerated. Next, let's see. Hopefully we don't get one that's like, or hopefully we do. I don't really have a preference. 14. Womp womp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right. It's time. It's time for the big whammer of the food ones. Are y'all ready? Wait, it's getting canceled. This Friday is the last chapter, chapter 48. Predictably getting canceled this Friday. Alright. Sorry, I can't really read. Alright. Oh, so this is the food bomb. Are y'all ready for the food one? I'm sorry for whoever in chat might have submitted this. Pineapple tastes bad. Now, I'm a biased person because I drink strawberry pineapple squeezy infusion all day long. Honestly, I've considered weaning myself off because I forget these are caffeinated. And I'm like, am I just like microdosing myself in order to focus all day? But not like be too distracted? I don't know. But it's my favorite combination. Though I will say, I'm privy to I never yum someone's yuck or yuck someone's yum. Yum someone's yuck? Yuck someone's yum. Yuck someone's yum. That's the word. I try not to yuck anybody's yum. I will say some drawbacks of pineapple include the enzymes eating my digestional tract. The texture can be very trying, Rose. I agree. Also, I can't eat it raw. It's very painful for me. As much as I'd like to, it used to be one of my favorite fruits to eat. But it hurts so bad I can't eat it anymore. I used to get mild stomach aches, and as I kept eating it, it kept making me get sicker and sicker. And then one time over the summer, I'm sure Alex can attest to this too, I was bent over dry heaving for like 24 hours because I had pineapple stuff. And I think I have either grown intolerant or allergic, unfortunately. And I think that's cruel because I would eat a whole bowl of it all the time. Pineapple and cantaloupe were my favorite, like, tropical leaf fruits, and mango. Papaya's not bad. Papaya's not bad. We're getting distracted. I'm one of those people that I don't think food opinions could be necessarily wrong. If it's eating you. If it's eating you. I will say, eating me back, kind of swaying me a little bit. Like 69 with that fruit. That's crazy. I eat my fruit, it eats me back a little bit. I don't know. Now I'm conflicted. I know a lot of people don't like cantaloupe, but I really like cantaloupe. Sorry. I'm just going to get on my soapbox and say that. I'm a little conflicted. But I think everyone's food opinions are very valid. Aside from people who really like tomatoes. I'm going to be real. I'm just kidding. If you like tomatoes, no shade. I don't get it, but that doesn't mean, it just means it's not for me. So this person, oh my god, sorry, I knocked shit over. Exonerated. Because personally, I think you can like whatever you like and dislike whatever you dislike. And if I wanted to eat it, or I could eat it, more for me. Exonerated. Now let's move along to the next. Also, I will say I really very much appreciate the people that nobody like put anything like horrible in here. I was worried when I put unpopular opinion that someone was going to say, you know how people are. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay, let me remove 27 off of this list. Bam. I just personally think when it comes to food, no one's really wrong. It's really up to your preference. Though, I have met grown-ass men who will only eat, like, one thing at every restaurant. And it's like, don't you want to try something new? I don't know why you're paying so much for something you can make at home that's mid as hell. But that's, you do you. It's your money. I just have known so many people who are like, yeah, I'm going to get a burger. It's like, it's not even a special burger. Not even like their house burger. This is just a plain burger. Honestly, you can make that shit at home. Try something a little freaky. And it doesn't even have to be like outside your comfort zone. Oh, unless you like chitterlings. Valid. One time I was at a friend's house and it was for like a family, like it was like for a family party or something, and they invited me, and someone made chitlins, and I was trying to get a little bit of everything to be polite, and her mom said, no, baby, you don't want any of that. And she looked like I was about to consume the horrors, which she saved my life. Mrs. Fry, I'll never forget you. You saved my life that day. Right here. I'll never forget you for that. That could have been fucking awful. Because they smelled bad, but like since we were outside, it was a little bit more open air. So like you couldn't quite pinpoint where it was coming from, but I hadn't lifted the lid off yet of the warmer. So thank you. I'm so glad I've never eaten chitlin. Anyway, the next one is probably going to be a yap session one. So I'm sorry if y'all don't like listening to me talk. Why are you here? You know what I'm saying? I used to do more video game stuff when I did streaming before, but I'm so bad at video games, y'all. I'm so bad. And every video game that I'm good at, they wanna like silence me. They want to silence me. They said no titty games. No titty games. Though I have heard that if they smelled bad, the person didn't clean them correctly, which is worse. Does it smell titty? No, I have never smelled any that didn't stink. Even just the waft. But also, like, a lot of organ meats, even when they're cooked right, still smell. Now, I don't eat meat, but I have eaten meat. I have tried to eat liver. Liver always smells. It smells like liver. It does have the odor. So I don't trust it. I don't. Also, I tried it and I almost threw up. It was really gross. But their dog liked it. So, well, who am I to tell? I have... This one might be a little bit yappy. So I want to give some context before I read this out loud. My situation with cosplay is a little bit more limited in non-traditional... It's weird because I've... Not weird. Weird's the wrong word. Different. Weird. Can be weird. So stinky. Uh-oh, stinky. What's the word I'm looking for? Okay, I joined and started cosplaying, like, a little bit before the pandemic, but, like, I really got... Well, technically speaking, I was gonna go balls to the wall in 2020. I had a plan of doing, like, a con every other month. Well, not, like, every other month, but, like, doing, like, I had a con schedule. I was making cos plans, and then I was able to go to OhioCon, and then COVID happened. So, it is what it is. So, I haven't actually been doing it as long. I'm a phony. So, I don't know the good old days people are talking about, truly. Because to me, they didn't really exist. So, I exist parallel to time. I was not doing TikTok cosplay in 2020, so I was, like, immune from that sort of sphere. Not in a bad way or a good way, I just didn't do it, really, at all. So I'm a kind of this, like, shifting mass. You might be wondering why the fuck I bring that up, because the next one is cosplay related. Now I want to see if I have ancient lore to the pictures before I actually met you. Honestly, I had some. I was working at a mortgage company, and that's when I started, like, doing it, sometimes after work. Now, I want to let you know, I worked 11 to 7 and had an 40-minute commute. I shouldn't have been doing that. I was tired as hell. Tabletop gaming? You want to say you went to Ohio and everything went wrong? Honestly, at the tabletop gaming, I might have seen you because I always go to the tabletop gaming room in every con and I play at least one game. At least one. So you're saying you went to Ohio, then everything went You know, where could I go wrong? I went to Ohio, I had big dreams, and pandemic, you know? But I'm still standing, and a lot of people can't say that, so my condolences. I just missed out on a year of hobby, you know? So this one is a very common issue I've seen. This is a cosplay community specific issue. So sorry I gave some lore, but just to give you some context of where I'm coming from. I was wearing probably a hockey jersey. Honestly, I'm gonna be real. Aside from the venue and the vibe, I don't remember anything too specific because I spend a lot of my cons really stoned. Especially, like, my first Ohio con, I was probably really nervous in general because it was, like, one that wasn't Yoma. And Yoma can be overwhelming enough just because there's a lot going on. So Ohio was like one of my first like out of state ones where I was like cosplaying and shit. Like cool, exciting. Also, miss OhioCon. I wish it was what it once was, but it is. I won't get into that. Stay on task. I'm on the clock. All right. Now this one, I already like how they worded it because they put the qualifier too many. Sorry, I thought I chipped my hammer. I did not. Too many. Not everyone. Too many. Too many cosplayers treat it like a beauty/popularity contest instead of just enjoying the hobby. And I don't think anyone's going to disagree on this. Because my thing is like, I think online specifically, more so, but is more that based on the aesthetics of it all. Because let's be honest, if you're like hot on like, also especially on TikTok, Rose nail on the head. Is that really a hot take? Not necessarily. However, I think personally, I have been on TikTok, and this is gonna sound really, really, really rude. Unless you're like a very specific niche or hot and skinny, you're not really gonna get much traction on TikTok. And I've seen extremely talented people get passed over, especially on TikTok. It happens on Instagram. It happens on... I'm sure there's people who cosplay on Twitter. Those are the only 2 apps I'm familiar with, all right? I'm not gonna pretend that I left Twitter when Elon Musk made it whatever. I left because I didn't freak with the platform, really. I mean, honestly, it was a platform I kept trying to use, but I can never be consistent enough to use, so... Don't know what it was. It just was never for me. So it's just how it is. However, I think because TikTok is so very insulated and there is so much more anonymity, like Reels are a cesspit, but like TikTok, you can't get shit removed for anything. I don't know what it is. They'll remove a video that has cleavage in it before they'll remove someone calling someone a blatant slur. I know, because I went through a friend's fucking 75 plus comment section and reported every use of a slur that they were getting, and not one of them got removed. Not one. And it was like slur, like the N-word. And you know what? Nothing got done. But then someone uploads a picture and then they just happen to have cleavage, or a video and they happen to have cleavage, immediately taken down. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. I think it's one of those things and also I don't agree that you have to know and like the media in order to cosplay it. Cosplay whatever you want. I don't give a shit. But sometimes I've met people that feel like they're too good to talk to other people. And I feel like, and this is just me, that's not how I like to do things, of course. Because I like talking to people. I'm a bit shy, but I like talking to people. But they'll set a limit of what popular specific characters suddenly no one else can be that. Oh my god. Don't worry, Rose, I'm coming right back to that one. I'm coming right back. Once I finish whatever dumb thought I was going to say, because that's more important. So it's one of those things that I find that a lot of people have this weird uppityness that they feel like they're too good to talk to people. And I have a firsthand example. There are several people who I followed for a while who only mutualed me, despite still never meeting me in person, when I hit a certain follower account. When I hit a certain follower account, they followed me back. And I'm like, girl, now what? I still make the same content. It's still the same fandoms. I did not change fandoms, which I understand can influence it. Like, if I started cosplaying, like, for example, more idol shit, I might get some more, like, idol followers, which is completely fine. Like, even if, like, they grow or whatever, I got a couple people recently, like, because I did a bunch of Nikki groups. I did a big Nikki group at Ascent, and, like, I met all those mutuals, and they were really cool. And frankly, they all talk to me like I'm a normal person, so it was really nice. And I was just like, damn, some people do not talk to you like you're a normal person, or they have to Google you first to make sure. And I don't like that. You're not a celebrity. You're a fella in a costume, my guy. And now I will hit to yours, Rose. Exactly. Or like one cosplayer gets really popular as a specific character, suddenly no one else could be that character. Made an example of specific Jinx cosplayer. I forgot the username, but all the comments on the end was like, no, I see that a lot. It's so upsetting. Or like someone will make a cute video with their friend, they're cosplaying the same character, and people will be like, so-and-so fits it better. I think they both felt like they fit it just fine. That's why they uploaded the fucking video. I think maybe you're pitting two people against each other. And also, like, I've tried to stand my ground because I've gotten this only, like, twice. Where people will be like, oh, I really like your ex. Way better than this other. I don't care. That other person probably looks phenomenal. You're just being an asshole. I didn't ask to be compared to another person. You shouldn't be comparing that person. And it's certainly not a compliment. I don't think a compliment's really a compliment in order to, like, I think you're more ranking. Right? If someone, like, that's why some people, like, which I think is such bullshit. I saw an infographic saying canon is actually, really, because there are going to be people who look like, I don't care. I'm commenting under every power, like, I love your power, canon power, or, like, I'm commenting on every, because I think it's a good compliment and people like hearing that as a compliment. And also, it doesn't nullify. It doesn't nullify it. So I think that was dumb. But otherwise, I was like, this is a good point. Your example was dumb. But again and again, I have beef with people who make infographics about shit that's really self-evident. You don't need to tear someone down, lift someone up. And if you tore someone down, I'm not interested in someone like you lifting me up. I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, that's not a compliment. Or I deadass, even if I'm lying. Oh, I saw theirs. I really like theirs better, actually. Because some people are just so fucking mean for no reason, especially, and in that case. Or people who, don't even get me started, who will be like, provoke a fight about a character, and I'm like, girl, calm down, dude, it's just a drawing. Some real Patrick Star shit. It's really just a drawing. You will be okay. The racism amount of comments, oh my god. Actually, I'm gonna say this, there is a name for the Dandadan fandom that people take Dandadan and put the K and the L where the D would be, because they have a really bad racism problem because of, they really, like, I've seen racism problem in all fandoms. I'm not gonna lie. That's just how it is. But I will say the Dandadan fandom kind of went crazy with it. And to the point where, like, one of the English VAs just tried to be a normal fucking human being about, who is also a person of color. He is a black guy. So he was like, oh, yeah, I wanted this art of, like, Okaroon is black because I am Okaroon's voice actor and I am a black man, and, you know, and stop attacking this 16-year-old fan artist. And then people were being fucking horrible, and he was off the platform for a little bit. And it's honestly, it's probably the worst I've seen in a bit. And because, and also I saw that before that event happened, this woman was just honestly saying, hey, I don't really care how good the media is. You should let people know that there's an SA scene a pretty scary one in the first episode. And, it made me uncomfortable, so I don't really want to watch that. And I saw people in the comments call her slurs. So, and I'm like, that's not a rebuttal to her argument. First of all, bad argumentation. Second, and more importantly, that's a slur. That's ridiculous that a person can't criticize. Mind you, they said they liked the damn show. And they still said that they didn't like that scene. That's all she said. People are insane. Sorry, not to go way off topic. However, this person, not very much an unpopular opinion. So I'm going to say exonerated. I will also say that it is okay it's of course okay to like looking at attractive people. I'm not saying it's bad, but if you only see the same type of person all the time, maybe reflect on yourself. Oh my god, book talk. Don't even. Oh my god, I'm gonna start, you know, Rage Against the Machine. I'm a rage against their machines. I'm gonna beat their ass. They trivialize and, like, sorry, I get so mad about it. But let's pick up the next one. Sorry, that was a really yappy one, y'all. I hope I didn't talk your ear off too much. And I appreciate talking with you guys on that because, like, I feel like, I don't want to say like an island, not an island, because like, I understand wanting to look good and feel good in a cosplay. I've never wanted to prioritize that over picking, like, over having fun. Now, if I feel hot, do I have fun? Of course. But like, do I care if I'm the most popular or the hottest? Well, I'm not the hottest. There's always gonna be someone hotter than you. And clearly, I'm not. I'm pretty normal looking, which is fine. Normalize normal people. Not everyone's gonna be a fucking model. And also, that standard that we compare people to is not realistic, or it's very specific to like one type of person. So, who cares? Just get your costume on and have fun. Who cares? Have a grand old time, because that's what a hobby's supposed to be about. Having fun, maybe stressing out beforehand before doing it, and then having fun. Number 23. You know what it is. All right. Oh my god, my screen timed out, y'all. Oh my god, we might not get through all these. I do know some of them are repeats, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, well, this one won't take but a second. Okay, I know I said anonymous. Sorry. Ash, get your ass over here. I'm gonna cry. I love you all so much. It's supposed to be for your enjoyment. Literally, I don't... Also, here's my thing. There's no limit to the amount of things you can look at. Really, truly. So who cares? There's plenty of fandoms for everyone to cosplay from. There are plenty of wigs in the world. Everyone can wear a wig. Everyone can wear a cosplay. It's fine. That's why I don't also like the argument of, oh, there's normies cosplaying. It's like, yeah, your hobby's becoming more popular. Okay? Yeah, Ash, I'm sorry. This was supposed to be anonymous, but everyone's gonna know. Right now. And Nicole, maybe you're gorgeous. Because you are. I don't think Jotaro was a bad dad. He just visited her in between our month-long banging sessions. I'm just kidding, Ash. I'm just kidding, Ash. For a conjugal visit, you know? You gotta have the conjugal. So conditional release, you only get conjugal visits. Only conjugal visits for you, Ash. Only conjugal visits. You and Jotaro get to have freaky time in jail. I had to out you, I'm sorry. I know that was unkind of me. But I have to do what I have to do. 20 is the next one. Yeah, you're freak ass. You conjugal... Ash Conjugal Visits is your new middle name. 1, 2, 3. Oh, y'all. I'm on the tube in part 6. The tube over his cock? That's you. Like, you know when people have, like, kins? Do you kin the tube that they latched onto Jotaro's, like, cock and balls in part 6? Alright. The next one is Kate Vi is bad lesbian rep. I'm just gonna leave this here. And I'm gonna have my reason. No, I'll put it back. I have reasons. I think early on it's fine. I think the resolution is bad. And I think it got watered down to them just, like, having sex, unfortunately. I don't feel like they grow and learn from each other. I don't feel like they resolve any of their conflicts, really. And then Vi just becomes a cop. He saw Jolene when he could. No, I understand, dog. I get you. You know, you gotta have priorities. Okay. So, the biggest thing is, and I'm not gonna try to, like, because I know there's some people who haven't seen it, so I'm not gonna spoil nothing. I didn't, like, watch it, but I've watched a lot of clips and a lot of breakdowns, a lot of lore. And they use them as a cop-out. I agree. I also think, like, thematically, I'm not gonna, like, do a spoiler, so I'm gonna say something very significant happens with Vi right before they have sex that does not make sense for her to go have sex with Kate instead. And they just freak anyway. Like, it just tantamount doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for her character development. It doesn't make sense that that's an action she would want to do, or, like, any human would want to do in that moment. Like, I'm not even, like, being, like... I don't know a person who isn't like a fucking freak that would want to do that at that time. Personally, and also, like, I have a hard time. You know who's a better Yuri with this premise, but kind of like better? Pansy and Critissa, and I'm gonna stand on that. I know none of y'all might know that, but it's okay. That's just because she's my D&D character. It's just like a horrible time, and I also think they didn't really grow with the relationship. The relationship kind of feels like less emotional development. It's just sexual, and it's just kind of lame. It feels like, who will let the straight men write lesbians? That's all I gotta say on that. So this person, who I know verifiably is a lesbian, exonerated, because they're the ones who would know. I'm not a lesbian, so I'm not gonna say what's good lesbian rep. They're lesbian and they say Kate Vi's a bad lesbian rep. I'm sworn to agree. Also, it's not a very uncommon, super uncommon opinion. Only gonna start it for. You know what? Me too. She's fine as hell. I got some edits. Don't you worry. I'll send you some edits. Oh, I gotta spin the number. I can't just read pro bono. I guess pro bono is not the word I'm looking for, but you know what? If it freaks, it freaks. Oh my god, there's so many less numbers now. I will say we haven't ran into any duplicates. 33. Okay, so I don't know if I could play any of these songs on stream. So this one's gonna be really short. I haven't researched it. Like, I haven't researched if I can play them on stream. And I'm not sure if I can. But there's a musical called Epic. This person says, I don't know if you know this one, but here, I hate Epic the musical. It sounds like a 2010s boy band. I listened for research, though, only 3 songs for full transparency. And I would exonerate this person on those claims alone. Is it as bad as Dear Evan Hansen? No. But not many people can win that crown, unfortunately, or fortunately. Is it really corny? And I'm sure a lot of people really like it, but it's very corny and definitely 2010s boy band. I have to agree. And it's also okay if none of y'all know this one. I didn't know it either, and I just looked up 3 fucking songs. No, that's real. I like the theming of the songs because I like the setting. I could see the 2010s boy band. It's not for me particularly, but I don't hate it. Like they do. I feel kind of, the only musical I really hate is Dear Evan Hansen, I think. No, Music Man. I fucking hate Music Man. The only time I liked Dear Evan Hansen when Trisha Paytas was making TikToks. Not that I endorse Trisha Paytas. That's not the point. Her TikToks were just crazy about him. But yeah. Do I think it's a bad musical? I don't know. I haven't listened to all of the Epic soundtrack. I do like a lot of the theming, but that's because I'm a sucker for lore, specifically Greek mythos and stuff. So, will I give it all a listen? Maybe. Depends on if I'm in the mood. 2010's boy band, I get it. That's very valid. So I will say this person exonerated. Sorry if that one was really quick. I just don't know if I can play music. Just keep finding songs through videos. I've heard, there is one, I don't remember this title, but I definitely heard it on a TikTok sound. Don't remember which one it was though, so please forgive me. You'll probably know it, to be honest. All right. Okay, 36. Is there anyone familiar with Homestuck? If not, I'll look up this person's crimes. I'm gonna call an expert. I'll see if they're on Villainopedia and look at a list of their crimes. I don't know anything about Homestuck, so I'm really just gonna go after. They said this person did nothing wrong. I'm willing to bet they probably did. Vriska did nothing wrong. Alright, let me look up this person. Vriska. Crimes. Let's see if they truly did nothing wrong. I don't even know the gender of this character or what they look like. Sorry, I'm just not into... I should call my nephew. He wouldn't answer, but I could call my nephew. She has a villains article, so I'm willing to bet crimes. Now, we do have to understand this could be just a girl bossing, so remember that this could be... We're going to try to be women supporting women here. Crimes, brainwashing. Don't think that's an actual crime. Bullying. Depends on where you live. I don't know in the Homestuck universe, and also, bullying's not specific enough. Paralyzing someone as an unsuccessful murder attempt. Okay. Now, I can't be sure. That person might have been blinding someone. Okay, that might be a little too far. Forcing someone to kiss her. Okay, murder. This is getting rougher. Mass murder in the name of feeding her lusus? I don't know what that means. So, if y'all know what that means, you can hit me up. I'm just saying, I'm just doing what the court document says. Villains Wiki. There's more. Okay, well, I don't know what omnicide means. Allow indirectly. Okay, if it says indirectly, I can't. Type of villain, brainwashing, control freak. Well, I will say blinding someone's pretty bad. Murder, definitely bad. And mass murder. Let me see what a lusus is. It's a giant creature, I think. Girl, you better tell me. Oh, I guess they're just big old creatures. But I'm gonna say, as much as I want to say women supporting women, I think that only applies to women I like. So, women characters I like. Jail. I'm gonna be real. I looked at these lists. I can't say she did nothing wrong. Disabling someone's pretty crazy. But it is Homestuck, so how serious can I really take it? Do they count? I don't know. But we're moving on, because I don't think none of us know Homestuck here. Sorry, my face is a little itchy. If you see me doing this, just need a little scratch. 22. Oh, I guessed right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. All right. We have a different anime. This one I agree with, but I'm extremely biased, so y'all can check me if I'm a little too far. Demon Slayer is held up by its art and its art alone. Did they put its art alone? No. I might have emphasized it because I'm showing my bias. Quid pro quo with this. I guess, no, it's not a quid pro quo. Devil's advocate, because I can't think of the word. I guess not devil's advocate. I think art being a significant part that takes like a mid-series to like a good series is fine. I think that's acceptable. I think it's like, if you're like, hey, like sometimes I'm gonna be real. Araki just forgot is a meme. For a reason. But like, Araki is definitely form over function. He's always written like that. The problem is there is nothing inherently special or fun about Demon Slayer other than its art. Especially when you take away the actual fighting mechanics, so then they're just fighting, even though it technically doesn't make sense because things literally catch on fire and literally get wet, but whatever. Apparently those breathings no one sees. I will have to say I read the whole thing, so I'm not trying to be a hater when saying this. Season 2 or the Entertainment District arc, if that's where you got to, that's pretty much the height. Anything after that is going to be, unfortunately, an abysmal disappointment. I think it started out cool, but it just got so boring. The only memorable demon for me was the one with the drums. Honestly, yes. I think they have a lot of really cool monster creation early on, then everything just becomes fight me. Which is also how I feel about JJK, and that happens really, really early. Because they start off, when they go to that little school and stuff, or they go to these things and they have curses that look like shit, that make sense, and then they all become this weird, fleshy, melted Frieza looking thing. And that's pretty much every cursed thing that isn't just a human. That's called a curse, looks like. Like, the primordials are cool, but everything else just becomes that weird melty Frieza thing. And they use something like that like 3 or 4 times. It's like, how are you gonna expect me to care about something that looks like that? Like, it was cool when they were like a little shoe, or like a little this or that. Like, because it like evokes the... Where was the human emotion being evoked? Especially because, like, after the first special grade was introduced, that's all that mattered. But, I'm sorry. Not JJK catching strays. Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, boring. Abjectly boring. I don't care about a lot of characters because they don't get any time. They abandon the main cast pretty early. It's kind of like after big fight. Who cares about Inosuke, Zenitsu, or even really Tanjiro? Who fucking cares? Because it doesn't matter. We're gonna give every Hashira a rushed backstory, because that's more important. We're gonna forget one, the one that's probably the most important to learn a story about, but we don't care, because that would be writing and planning. And it feels like Demon Slayer wasn't written with a plan in mind. And that's my opinion of why a lot of series, Western or anime, it doesn't matter, fail, is because they don't write a story with an ending in mind. This person, fully exonerated. Born the memory. Yeah. I love the drum one too, because the drum one was actually cool. Exonerated. Fully. Remember when, like, the characters' behavior actually mattered? Yeah, me too. The Spider Family was decent. Then after that, 9. Oh my god. Oh my god, we finally got to them. I told y'all there were One Piece ones in here, and I was not lying, I swear to god. Now, this one kind of guffawed me a little bit. One Piece is a waste of time. It is the same plot over and over. In brackets, I watched over 850 episodes. Pardon? I knew there was a lot. 850? How many? Hang on, I'm gonna look up how many episodes there are. Ain't nothing that needs to be that long. How many episodes of One Piece? Over 1,100? Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, nah, nothing worth that. I do know they repeat arcs because they kind of have to, because the formula is very go to new island, help native people, potentially get a crewmate, and then leave. Is kind of like every single conflict they have. But holy shit. When they say, I've watched over 850 episodes, I'm like, that's fucking crazy. What fucking show has 850? Over 1,100, and I know there's more chapters. That's fucking actually crazy. They have to repeat shit. Even if they had unique stuff all the time, there ain't no way. Sorry, I'm just shocked. Over 1,100 is actually crazy. What is this fucking... You know what reminds me of? General Hospital, or As the World Turns, or The Young and the Restless. Y'all just watching soap operas, but at least those people have evil twins and shit that come back from the dead. This is the same fucking 5 pirates, dog. Plus some other side characters. Y'all gotta do better. Exonerated. Moving on. Value your time. You only got one life to live. Yeah, I might be in hell, but at least I'll watch one. Well, not hell. Might be on my deathbed, but at least I watched One Piece. Okay. Want a medal? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. We got a genre talk one. Have sexy results, though? I don't know. Oh. Makai is barking. I don't think you guys can hear him. But if you can, bark up for Makai. Bark with the dog. A woof. All right. Oh, I don't know if this person. Well, that's because you, Rose. That's because you were a horn dog. Also, do you know how much other shit I could watch in 1100 episodes? I could watch like 20 other anime. You heard him? Can we get a woof? A woof. All right. Isekai could be good, but there's so little creativity. I will say, not a lot of actual hot takes, because I'm gonna say that's that's just true. Like, how you gonna actually? I'm gonna show you a picture I saved because I saw this one. Oh, it's on my phone, but it doesn't really matter. You guys can get the. Oh my god, my ring light. That's like all the fucking protagonists. Creativity in the isekai, maybe in the 90s. No, facts. Because every isekai protagonist looks exactly the fucking same. They either have a redo, a copy, or like a random fucking meta ability or one shit that just makes them solo the world. And I had an epiphany earlier today. The reason why a lot of these lazy-ass writers choose isekai is because it's intrinsically easier to write because you don't have to focus on a backstory, because very few of them ever acknowledge their life prior to being in the isekai. You don't have to worry about world building because the world is completely new to the main character. You have to do full character introductions, full magic system, you have to do all of that because there's no other, it's the easiest way to introduce your characters to the world and your audience. Lazy designs, lazy plots, lazy humor. Usually it's just like, ho pervert, ho this character drinks a lot, ho this you know, it's just lame. And frankly, I think it's a cheat for world building when there's plenty of either old isekais or just like fantasy setting things in general. And I'm sure there's plenty of good new ones, but brother, where? You know, so exonerated. Because I feel like it is actually, I'll tell a quick little anecdote, and I swear to God I'll be fast. I know my yapper. I'll talk about how when the very first isekai I ever watched was Sword Art Online. I know, it's horrible. But I was not warned of this. So what happened was I was just told, oh, it's pretty good, you should watch it. And I was like, oh, okay. I've never watched an isekai before. Big mistake, big. Because I was like, oh, is it gonna be because they're hooked up to this video game or whatever? Are they gonna have to like race against time to get out of the world because their bodies would be dying? No. They're just in the video game world now. So there's no stakes, is what you're telling me. No real ones, that is. Aside from their harem stuff, which I also... If you're gonna do a harem, have it be a girl main character. So then I could look at only women. I don't want to see that man. Get him out of here. Especially when it's, unfortunately, medium build, Twinkie build, small build, generally short, man with black hair. Who is probably 18, 19 tops. Bada bing, and that's all you got. And now let's spin to win. But that person fully exonerated. 11. At least it looks like it's about to be 11. Yep. Yippee! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, now this is crazy. KSI's song isn't that bad. Everyone's got to start somewhere. Now, dog, I'm gonna be real. I heard in the thick of it. I heard at least. I saw the music video. I can't defend you on this. I can't. No one's gotten this penalty yet, so you're not even getting to jail. Some people need a full reset, and I think I could deprive you of headaches for a lifetime, and of the complex burden of thought, because that is the craziest take. you have to be lying. If you're out there potentially seeing this in the future, you can't actually believe that. It's literally, like, people talk about, like, how certain, like, people's music is bad. Not from the screen to the ring to the pen to the king. That's my crown. Only drama when I ring. Like, it's literally that bad. I'm sorry. And then if you've ever seen the music video, I can never unsee CGI Ice KSI. I'm sorry. I just can't. No. I'm sorry. This is a cultural reset moment. We're bringing out the guillotine. The shot of the prime. No, the shot of the prime was actually fucking deranged. That shit was so crazy. Also, still don't know why part of it was in an office building. I don't think that man's ever been in an office until that moment. So it's like, I've heard thick of it. You don't have to lie like this. Is this KSI? Is this a psyop? Are you still upset about the song everyone was clowning on? Brother. Oh, I forgot to delete 11, so let me take that off. We got 6, but let me remove 6 and 11. All right. Wow, we're really dwindling down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my god. You know what? This person doesn't deserve death. So let's... You know what? Let's do some... Sorry, I wanted to see OJ again, you know? Miss him a little bit, I guess. Too many people lewd cosplay minors. There seems to be a resurgence of it. I don't know if I would say there's a resurgence of it because, again, I don't remember the dark times as much. I've seen some old Bakudeku stuff, and I think that shit was actually unhinged and crazy. And I don't mean like people who just like to cosplay Bakudeku. That's fine. You know what I'm talking about. You know there were some 35-year-olds doing Mpreg Deku. We saw it. We all saw it. And if we didn't, we could pretend we did so we don't have to see it for real. I think certain media, but also the fandom, have made it okay for Down to Dawn, for example. I've seen, if I'm gonna say like recently, the two that come to mind that if the resurgence, the only ones that come to mind, and I could be incorrect, are Dress Up Darling and Dawn to Dawn being two big ones. One has a minor cosplaying an Eroge characters all the time, so, and has some pervy angles of her. I've seen some people cosplay Alya that way but again, it's or not Alya, Yuki from Alya. Again, horrible fucking character. Don't even get me started. I would have DNI'd that if it wasn't so short. I'm gonna be real with you. Or DNF. I would have just dropped it. Do they have maybe like people having legitimate sexual contact with cosplaying minors? Because I've heard that's a lot of things. I am assuming, like, on OF, I don't know. Just because, like, paywall, I ain't paying nobody. Because I don't got money. But, I'm assuming they mean, like that. Or, like, people who do, like, really weird shit. I will say, overall, it seems like more people seem to be willing to call that out. I actually saw that kind of recently with, like, a larger cosplayer who was cosplaying a minor, and then a different one who just got in trouble. Like, there was a someone, I don't remember this person's name because not to be that guy, they were Brazilian, and I don't really fully remember their username, and because it was several months ago, but not several months, it was like October. That would be several months, my bad. They were cosplaying Momo in like lingerie, and Momo is a 15-year-old or 16-year-old girl. Not cool. Especially since this is a character who routinely gets SA'd in the series, and another character who also gets that treatment, but for an older work, is like Lucy from Fairy Tail, but like that fucking author has problems with feet as well, and I don't fuck with it. But anyway, well, I don't fuck with Fairy Tail because it's also just bad, but people talking about it, but I'm not actually. Yeah, so I don't know if it happens on OF, so I couldn't tell you, but more people are willing to call it out, so I do think overall it's less. For example, this is not a minor character, but a character who is like her whole arc was being like sexualized by somebody she didn't want to sexualize her, and then it culminated in an essay, and someone did a lewd of that character. And people were legit, like, if the comment section was legitimately like, this is not it. This is not good. And the one who did Momo, for example, the Brazilian cosplayer I was talking about, also the comment section reflect that. I think though it really depends on the media. I don't see that as much with Dress Up Darling because it's more like suggestive than it is outright lewd. And I think because the character cosplays that character, and I think like bunny suits are another gray area. I don't see people call it out with bunny suits as much, but like straight up lingerie, I've seen people call out. Or like people who like unnecessarily put like a panty shot of a character. I've seen people call it out more. But again, I don't have much to compare it to other than my limited experience. So I'm going to say I don't think there's quite a resurgence because I've seen a lot of people call it out, especially like repeatedly, which I appreciate. Conditional release, I don't have enough information because I'm not on OF. I'm really not on TikTok like that either. So I couldn't tell you, but just from my Instagram experience, people are at least willing to call it out, which is more than it used to be, or than even just a few years ago, like during the pandemic. Like, I remember being like, vegan, I'm like, oh, that character's a minor, and now it's like, you'll just see people comment it at least. Part of that might be just because they like picking on someone online. Another part might be that these were particularly large creators, so they felt safe to do so. So I don't really know how it looks on a micro scale. But a macro scale, at least there's something. Now, that doesn't mean these people are held accountable. Let me be clear. And that doesn't mean they won't continue to do it. Let me be clear. However, at least people are talking about it. So I will say conditional release. I don't have enough information to determine that. And from my personal experience, less, but I can also see another way. 32. So this one has 34. Or 36. Yes, 34. Another Dan one. So I'm not going to drive this one home too much, so I'm just going to recoup what this person says. They get exonerated because this is something that I've already exonerated people on. But it's just, I don't care how good DD&D is, Dan is. I shouldn't have to get past a minor essay scene in the first episode. So this is something I've noticed, and this kind of happens in a lot of media. I know, like, most notably Goblin Slayer does this too, where it's like put a really shocking scene in the first episode. And I feel like specifically the way that in the manga and the anime it was captured was purposely exploitative. I feel like there's ways, I mean, we know that fucking aliens probe each other. They could do that. I don't know. But we know that aliens, like, probe. Like, there feels like there could have been used some discretion if they wanted to do that angle. There could have just been dialogue. Did they have to strip her down to her bra and panties and have her legs in stirrups? I don't think so. I don't think they had to do all that. I think, and some people are like, well, it gives the narrative stakes. I think you can give stakes without showing her in that way. You know what I mean? Like, if you wanted to keep the same exact plot, you could have changed the framing. Or, like, kept her clothes on, or, like, changed the dialogue, or changed the position. Because, like, where the fuck... She's on a spaceship anyway. Where the fuck is she gonna go? You know what I mean? So I just think it was very unnecessary and very uncomfortable, because I think a lot of AFAB people know, like, how vulnerable that specific position she was put in. Like, if you've been to a gyno before, that shit is not comfortable. You feel very vulnerable. And you're not even strapped down. Let alone anybody who's had trauma. It's very, very, like, the angles are very weird. It's kind of like when I talk about, like, sometimes the camera angles, even though there's not cameras, of, like, certain anime feel weird to me. Like, oh yeah, this character's just changing. Why can I see her entire anatomy through her underwear? And it's, like, super shaded to where I can tell what everything is. That's a little crazy. This is not a hentai, allegedly. So, you know, it's one of those things. It's you know, it's one of those things where defenders will be like, but technically, it's like, yes, but technically, but you could also do it in a way where less is more. I don't know, like, you could still keep the stakes without making it, like, that. I don't know if I made my point. Hopefully that was cognizant. It's like it matters. The context and how these people are... The context on how we depict trauma does matter. It just does. I mean, I don't... For people who've gone through and for people to want to, like, understand what people go through, like, you know, that shit does matter. 8. Oh, wow, we're getting down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is a very big pivot. All right. Sub versus dub arguments are false outrage. Old heads don't like that. LMAO. So, I will say for older media, the dubs were worse in English. However, I don't know. I couldn't tell you if the sub-dub thing works in Japanese because I don't speak Japanese. I don't know how inflection and stuff's supposed to sound. So, I don't know 100%. Man, I need to drink water. My kidneys are kind of sore. But I think the sub versus dub argument is an old head argument. I'm sorry. I agree with this person, though I do see younger people doing it. I think you should watch media however is convenient and possible for you. If you prefer subs and you like listening to it in Japanese or Korean, because some of the new ones, it's such a... You're so right. It's so Android versus... It's whatever makes the calls, whatever whatever you get to do. It's such a lame fucking argument. I don't care what, like, how dub versus, like, oh, I don't know, maybe you have a job where you have to, like, watch something. Maybe, like, personally, I prefer dub because I work on a lot of stuff and I can't read super well. Like, not in a literacy way. I can read just fine, but, like, my vision's really bad. So, like, I would have to have a really big screen or really crisp resolution, which... and I'd have to have it, like, relatively close to me. And if I'm working on anything, that's just not possible for me to do it without, like, my undivided attention. That's why if some things come out, like, dubbed or subbed, I kind of have to wait and not give it maybe as much priority because I just can't do that. I'd have to sit there and give designated time to be able to read it. And also, again, resolution and stuff like that. So personally, if there's a dub option, I usually take it because it's easier for me because I have vision problems and workaholic problems. However, there's some people that prefer it subbed, and there's some people who just prefer it dubbed because they think a lot of the voice actors in English shouldn't be snubbed because, it's very dumb. I agree. It's an old head argument, so exonerated. People still make the arguments, though, but it's fewer and fewer. Thank God. Also, my thing was always, like, I don't speak Japanese, so I don't know how I'm supposed to grade their voice acting work. I don't know what inflections they're supposed to have here on that particular word, and the flow of the sentence should be 26, I think. No, we had 26, 25. Sorry. Speaking of my vision being bad. 6 and the 5 look very similar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Exonerated immediately because I'm cosplaying Power, and this person says Power smells good. Correct. You get an extra one. I don't have an extra slide for, like, I suck you off in court, but I'm gonna use this picture of Judge Mathis. Sorry. No sneeze. Never mind, not coming. I'm gonna, give you... Hang on. Just for that. Power is only stinky when she first moves into Aki's apartment. She literally goes into the bath several times of her own volition. I'm so sick of the fake news. So sick of it. There's several scenes in which she bathes. Sick of it. But you get Smokin' Mathis for that. Smokin' Mathis. When I was, like, homesick as a kid because I was a really sickly kid, I watched all them damn Judge shows. So I think this is why I like doing this. Judge Joe Brown, Judge Mathis, Divorce Court, Judge Judith Scheinlin, 29. Oh my god, another One Piece one. Alright. So this one is less about One Piece's longevity. Remember how I said about the art's ugly and we'll probably have to come back to that? This is, spoiler alert, it was this one. Oh my god, we're over time. You know what? We're gonna finish the judge deliberations. I know I usually only go to 11, but we're going until we finish because we only got like 6 left. One Piece is fatphobic and racist, and fans dick ride too hard to care. I'm gonna be real. Fatphobic, I have nothing to say. I remember how I talked about earlier that they draw women real uncomfy. How they draw specifically larger women is actually insane. Women are either spoon with boob or abominations. And it's so, there's literally a character who like switches between being skinty and I just like, I mean, I've known a lot of plus size women in my life. Ain't not one of them look like that. And I just think that's really fucked up. And I think it's really fucked up that it's spoon with bobblehead and boobs, or I will depict them in the grossest possible way. And I think that's really fucking shitty, actually. And as far as racist, I mean, I've seen the melanin leak from their body. I know that shit's gone. I know that shit is... I don't know about anything specific again. I'm not watching that shit. I have seen the melanin leave characters' bodies. I've seen it. So I'm not gonna say these people are lying who have watched the damn show. But the fatphobia, I've seen some of the characters like outright. And for the racism, I've seen the characters outright. Completely exonerated because that's valid as fuck. Valid as fuck. Where you at? No, not jail. Bob Odenkirk says you're free. No sins. I should do one where I dress as a nun and cleanse all of your sins. And you can put the nastiest fucking shit in my... You know what? Maybe not. Maybe that's not a good idea. One, I don't have a nun outfit. I don't have a nun yet. I was at a play as a nun once. I wonder if they'll let me borrow it for that. Discord, no! Oh my god. I hate Discord. That's my hot take. Discord, doo-doo ass app. I hate it. Alright. 30! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Uh-oh, that don't make sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Oh, okay. Okay, get out of here. Bob Odenkirk or bust. Alright. Where's my chat? Speaking of racist depiction, do you see they supposedly changed the color at least of Garterbelt's lips? No, but I'm glad they have, because that was like the one thing, well, not the one thing, but that was like the big thing that like Panty and Stocking drove me insane over, because I like Panty and Stocking. That shit is crazy. But thank God, they took feedback and they ran with it, and I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And I'm sure a lot of other people who do not like being depicted that way appreciate it even more. But Garterbelt is such a fun character, so I'm so glad they fixed that, because he's just fun and he deserves to look good and look like, you know. One Piece, take notes. You know what? No, that's real. The next one was Araki wants to fuck Rohan Kishibe. That ain't even an opinion. That's just facts, my guy. That man drew a picture of him holding his cheeks. They were holding booty cheeks. Their hands are like this and holding down. Araki's hands are all the way down to Rohan's cheeks. That man wants to fuck Rohan. First of all, Rohan got his own spinoff. Rohan came back in part 9 looking exactly the same. You know what, Araki? That's your man right there. Go get your man. Give him a little smoochie. Oh my god. I like smack some shit. Oh, my gavel. That man wants to fuck that drawing. What am I looking for? Oh yeah. There's like 5 left. Alright. It's so crazy how 1 is hanging in there. 1 is like... Oh no, I clicked 1 already. I forgot to remove from the list. So we have less than I thought. We only have 3 left after this one. This one is also another pineapple on pizza one, so I'm skipping it. I'm sorry, guys. That is valid. Like what you like. So there's 3 left. Sorry. Oh, I might have deleted 16. Okay, I think I deleted 16 because that was right next to it, so I'm going to use that one just real quick. Gooner is a lame insult. I don't know about that. I don't really... Okay. I know the term gooner means. I'm just wondering if that's an insult or just an observation. If I think it's used against a media like, oh, this media... First of all, I see that used with a lot with Zenless. I'm always like, y'all have never seen Aja Lane or Nikki then. Because I was like, gooner game, y'all are just kind of delusional at that point. Because, like, there are jiggle physics. There are. But have you seen some of those games? They're fucking crazy. But gooner itself... I feel like this person brought this up because they're very attached to it. So I'm going to give them a conditional release. But I might have to put them in jail. Because I think gooner is an adjective. And if you identify with it and you're a little hurt... If someone calls you a gooner for liking something, you just have to say, what about this is gooner specific? Because I don't view it that way. And stand up for yourself. I don't know what to say. Do people just call you that? If people call you that, I'm a little nervous. So, jail, just because. Just cause. I don't have a reason. Just a vibe check. I've seen people use it legitimate insult and it never hits. It's also silly sounding, so maybe this person... You know what? Conditional release. You're right. It does sound silly. It's just like, because the word goon, like, in the sense of what it used to be used for, more, like, you're being a goon, wasn't really, like, was, like, how you would describe, like, oh... them and their goons, like in a sense of like their lackeys or their henchmen, but now it's like gooning, which is fine, you know, words evolve and change over time, but like, is that really an insult that works? Like, oh, you fucking gooner. It's like, it always feels like a self-report. I don't know, it kind of feels like a self-report always to me. I don't know what it is. So I'm gonna say conditional release. You're either a little too offended by it, you're right, Rose. Or, like, it's just not, I don't know, man. This one's tough for me. This one's tough. That was a little weird. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my god, another One Piece one. We have already covered this one, but I'm going to read it anyway, because we've kind of covered this exact one. An anime should not need 100 plus, let alone 10 plus episodes to get good. Cough, One Piece, cough. Now, I will say, I have never seen goalpost moved so much for a series in my life. Sometimes you'll see like, oh, if you could get past the first couple episodes, valid, because there could be some growing pains. 10 episodes, I think that is too much. If I have to wait 10 episodes for it to get remotely good. But then some people with One Piece, it's like, yeah, after like 150, it starts to hit. 150? What the fuck? Yeah, this person valid. Not even conditional release. They get also smoking Judge Mathis. Cause 10, very real. Even 10 is too much. If I'm told I have to watch like almost a season of something for it to get remotely good, unless those episodes are like really, really short, like if they're like 10 minutes long, but like I'm not a kid that kind of could just sit there and watch anything, you know? I can't just, I could watch a baby like bouncing fruit stimulus videos. I do like those. But not the point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, I'm getting a head start. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And this person said power is stinky, and since we already ruled that power is not stinky because I said so, this person will get the death penalty. You're gonna get the death penalty for saying this. Sorry, she came in from the woods to the office and she didn't know about bathing. But whose fault is that? If you pick up a wild animal off the side of the road and you let it romp around and you don't give it a bath, that's on you. And then she's like, oh, being clean's not so bad. And then she does it. Because I know some series start over to taking some serious deep store. Yes. I will say, like, things like Adventure Time or Streambean, sometimes it takes a slow burn. But, like, usually themselves, they'll be individually fun on their own, so I'll find it worth watching. Like, there's a lot of series that start as, like, Monster of the Week and then make a bigger thing. But if those episodes are solid and I'm enjoying them, I'll still watch them. I think those are fine. I think it's like you have to watch 10 episodes of boring shit to get anywhere. I'm just not doing that. I'm sorry. I'm just not doing all that. Call me lazy, but maybe make your art good from the jump. Anybody who says power stinky, death penalty. Line up outside my house. I got a guillotine waiting for you. But don't line up outside my house because I don't give my docs out to people because I get scared about people knowing where I live. And that's the tea about that. That means we have one last one. Hang on, I'm just looking for the last one. Oh, I think it was that other... The last one was the final Dondadon one, so I'm gonna give you one of my own. And y'all can be the judge. So let me think. Okay, I have one that's unpopular opinion. And you guys get to judge me and decide what as the final one. Oh, and the final Dandadan one was just like that, like, you know, it's way too much essay, which I agree. So this is the final one. I don't like thank you for validating my like decisions, because it's just like, hey, just like make your art more polished. That's what editors are for too. I think so many people are just like, everything this writer touches gold. It's like, editors are very important. Just thought I'd mention it. So this is my hot take and y'all get to judge me, and then I'll say goodbye and give you all little kisses on your forehead, but only if you're nice to me. I am over, this is specifically in anime, but it can be in anything. Nerd gets girl trope when nerd doesn't change anything about himself or like learn anything too. For example, we could use Dandadan as an example, but like, I would say Dandadan's actually like okay in the beginning with stuff like this, where Okarun does have to change a little bit about his personality. But I mean that in like not even nerd, but like male MC does nothing, breathes, women are all over him, but some are even haughty and mean and like, oh my god, I hate other people, no one understands me, and then they immediately pull a baddie. I'm sorry. Couldn't we start as friends? I feel like I don't know these motherfuckers. Like, I don't know. I'm so sick of baddies being with this mid-ass dude when they could just kiss each other. Sorry. This was the gay agenda. I'm sorry. That's my bad. That was a gay agenda popping out. I'm employed by Big Gay. I'm sorry. Now that y'all know my biases, that I'm employed by Big Gay. So, do I deserve the death sentence? I just feel like it's very incel-core a little bit. It's different if, like, there's many, like, nerdy male characters who are, like, super, super, like, well-adjusted, super, like, or, like, even if they're shy, who, like, you understand why someone likes them because they have positive attributes, but, like, half the time their attribute is, I like a thing, and it's my whole personality, and people who don't like this thing are just lame, or no one understands me, and I'll never meet anyone who understands, oh my god, this new girl came in from out of town, or whatever. You said no death sentence, or no death sentence? I need the clarity. Oh. Free me? Yes! I'm free! I'm just so sick of seeing baddies. Like, it would be different. Like, I also think there's plenty of characters that are like, they have really sweet romances, even though they're like a rare pair or an atypical pairing. I think is super valid, and I like those usually a lot. But like, you have to have them connect on something other than she's hot and he's a loner. Also, very, very, very fucking applicable for book talk for Rose, but just flip it this way. She's an ordinary girl and he is an edgy shadow man. And he's also just happens to be extremely hot and like super good at everything he does. But he's an outsider, so I can change him. Sorry. That's more book talk specifically and like book stuff. But they very much give the same thing. Like, there's nothing unique about these characters. They're just like, they don't grow or do anything. So you're like, when you've dated someone, don't you have something in common, or maybe not even in common, like things you like about each other's personality? And like, I'll watch like a rom-com and be like, where's the chemistry? Where's the development of feelings? It's insta-love. Every time I literally want to rip my hair out. This isn't my hair, but I want to rip my hair out. I want to hear, I don't know why, but I think I'm falling for him. Yeah, I don't know why either. You can't even say, oh, this character's just attractive, because they'll be told by the narrative that they're nothing out of the ordinary. But somehow they are, but they don't show you how, and then they're just like, oh no, they're just too epic like that. But it's like, if I don't see them grow and change, they're the same motherfucker that I met. There's a little bit of that in Don and Don because they insta-love, but I will say she does check his behavior a little bit early, and then nothing happens after the first couple episodes, so it is what it is. Right now, they're their mafia mass stalker romances. Oh my god. The mass stalker ones are the ones I'm more familiar with because of just like the... So, not to be that guy, y'all, but I don't really read, but because I just don't have time. But I watch a lot of book reviews because I used to be a pretty avid reader. And it tickles my itch for reading bad shit, but not having to pay for it. I have a few books that I've been itching to read. I just have to like not work 12-hour days. And like not be crunching constantly, because that's my other problem. I'm not treating y'all like therapy. I just need to stop overworking myself. But you know what I'll take from this conversation of us overworking myself? One, I won't take anything away from it, because I'm sorry. I'm self-aware, but not at the point where I'm going to do anything about it in this moment. Maybe someday. Maybe someday I will be willing to let go of my workaholic nature. It's not even like workaholic nature. It's I think it's because I grew up in a list family. And I don't like using lists generally, or I can, but like I don't have to. But like, if I don't limit what I need to get done in a day, I will just run myself till I absolutely burn out every single day until I have a mental breakdown. And that's not healthy. That's not okay. Will I unpack that with a professional? Perhaps. One day. Today? No. Working 8 to 6, 8 to 7 all the time. It's really exhausting, and it sucks the life out of me. And then when I come home, okay, I don't come home. That's crazy. I don't have a commute. For those unacquainted, I work from home. So what I do is I work, then I clean, and then I work on cosplay. And that's pretty much, well, aside from like showering or feeding. Not a threat. I'm being threatened in my own chat. That's crazy. That's so crazy. What if I evicted you? What would you do? But I will say, that it is something I need to work on. It is something I will work on eventually. Currently, I do have to get a therapist. I'm just not financially able to seek long-term therapy work, unfortunately. There's a few things I have to get done first. Like, I have to go to the eye doctor. I've been out of clear contacts for a long time. Also, the last time they gave it to me, they didn't account for my astigmatism. So, like, the clear contacts I even got were, like, pretty much useless because it's like, yeah, this is my prescription. I still can't see because it's extremely blurry. So, didn't really help. Like, I see probably as well as I do in most of my cosplay color contacts that have prescriptions, so, like, I used to stack my contacts. Don't tell nobody, though. But I gotta just make a few other like appointments before I can get into therapy regularly, because I think I've been told I'm kind of a high-strung person when it comes to my expectations for myself. I'm not gonna yap to y'all anymore because you're not my therapist and y'all don't want to hear it. But I've been told I'm a little high-strung about getting stuff done, and I'm really hard on myself, which valid, but also I don't get enough done because I do things in the slowest possible way because I'm a slow person. I'm just slow in general. I don't move very fast. Two, I'm annoyingly cautious with stuff, so I take a long time. And I won't commit to things about it because I'm like, oh, what if I paint this and then it's like the wrong color? Oh, but it's not perfect. And it's like, oh, but it's kind of messy, so I'm gonna I have to redo it. I have to redo it all. And that I literally sometimes get to the point where like, oh, I can't do that because it's literally killing me and I can't do that. So not literally, but honestly, same person, same vibe. I love and support you too as well. Sorry, my vision is, I have to like lean a little bit in order to read. But I won't bother you. I've held you guys hostage for long enough. I usually have just been going 9 to 11 these days, but it is 9:30, or I'm sorry, it's 11:30. And I wanted to let you all know I really appreciate you I really appreciate you being here, and I had a fun time. I'm probably gonna take my makeup off, though. I think I served face today. Yeah, listen, I won't know until I see the video tomorrow. I won't know if my makeup looks good or not because I can't really see the detail. So, oh no, don't hold you. I'm the masked stranger, Rose. You see, I'm the masked stranger that's gonna hunt you down. Honestly, if you could text me just to make sure I have your number, because I won't get into the logistics of fucking my journey with my contacts getting scrambled. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm gonna be real about that because honestly, my contacts were supposed to, not my contacts in my phones. Sorry, I was looking real close into the fucking to see that emoji. I'm gonna cry. Also, for makeup things, the Douyin girlies got it. My makeup changed overnight. Douyin girlies got it. And this shit don't budge. And I don't use a ton of products. I don't even use foundation. I just blend it together. So like my cheeks and stuff, like it has some blush. But like no foundation over here, and then when I move to here, there's some concealer because I have a lot of redness and whatever. But you get my point. Douyin girlies, that's where I get all my makeup things. They're the best. I learned what looks good for my eye shape and my face shape. Just via... I don't speak no Mandarin. I don't. However, I don't need Mandarin or Cantonese to follow these amazing tutorials. They're just so good at it. I don't know. These girls really putting in the work. So that is my my biggest advice is Douyin girlies, they got you understanding your face on a scientific level. I'll be like, I've never seen it done that way. And then I do it that way. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. It's like I feel like I'm like a medieval peasant learning seeing a smartphone for the first time, you know? I'd be like, what is that light box, eh? I haven't seen nothing like that before, you know? But I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. I stayed over time, so I'm going to give you a heart if I can figure out the orientation of it. I love you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Get some sleep. I don't know how many is early rising. I should be back next week. I don't know what antics yet that we'll be doing. I do like the idea of the nun thing and me cleansing of y'all of your sins, but, you know, maybe that's for another time. But I love you guys. I had such a fun time. Thank you for going overboard with me. I didn't think we were going to get this many people, and I'm sorry I yapped so much. I love y'all lots, and have a very good night. Or else I'll show up.